What's up guys, Technicals here. It's time for the weekly mining switch up where we switch my mining hardware over to something new. We're gonna do it a little bit different this week. We're gonna take a look at the most profitable thing to mine and also the best speculative play in my opinion. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel so you can follow along in this process. I do these videos every single week. I'm the Technicals, let's get into it. Like I said, I'm doing it a little bit different this week, taking a look at the most profitable thing to mine because now that I have all these 4070s, I'm feeling the itch a little bit to mine something profitable and cash it out because I want to finance the next thing for the farm. And so for that, I'm going to head over to hashrate.no, a little bit better in my view than what to mine, but I use them both over the past week, or at least over the past few days. Gram has been at the top of many charts. So Gram is a token on the Ton blockchain. I know very little about it, but I am set up and mining it. I've got all 4070s in my GPU rig with one 3080 Ti, but I'm just going based off the profitability for the 4070. I've noticed Gram and Husat been swapping places a little bit. Husat's a little new. Gram seems a little more put together for me, so I have a little more confidence, but Gram's a little hairier to get started with mining with. Rapid Mining did a good video on how to get started mining because it's a token on the Ton blockchain. So link in the description below over to his channel to check it out. Also put my GPU rig on Nexa for a little bit this week, but Nexa nice hash, so getting paid out in Bitcoin because I don't really want any of the Nexa coins, whatever they are, Nexa Power, whatever. So I was just getting paid out in Bitcoin. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to say that Gram is the most profitable thing to mine for this week. And again, you're going to want to check up on these calculator websites day to day if you're a profit chaser. Taking a look at CPUs right now, it's March 30th, about 4:35 in the AM. Right now, ZEPH is the only thing that's really popping off right now. And I couldn't tell you why, because ZEPH's price really hasn't gone anywhere. It's gone down a little bit, but still right now, according to the calculator website, ZEPH is the place to go. Maybe everything else is just down. Digging in a little deeper on our 7950 X3D, ZEPH showing about $1.32 in profit. The next one down, Nikito, so pretty close. So I would say for the most profitable thing this week is gonna be ZEPH, or if you just wanted to put your CPUs on something like NiceHash, for random X and get paid out in Bitcoin, you're going to be, getting sort of that automatic profit switching because a lot of these coins that are the most profitable day to day are on random X anyway. So you may get some benefit there. If you don't want to mess with ZEPH and just want your Bitcoin, and you want to swap that into Tether or whatever, check it out. Again, of course, link to NiceHash is in the description below. Sign up using my code because I get a little money. And so for our speculative plays, we're going to take a look at miningpoolstats.stream first, checking out the new proof of work coins. They have this on their site, link in the description below. C-Music AI did a video on that, also Anokis. Bunga, we did not do a video on Bunga, so I'm gonna write that down just to see what Bunga is all about. We're gonna head back and take a look at our biggest drops in difficulty, because if you're after yield, which I am most of the time anyway, that's going to be where you're going to get the best yield. And when the difficulty drops, you're going to get more coin based on your hash power. From here, as I move up, I'm looking at the algo to make sure it's either CPU or GPU mineable. And then if it is, I look at the volume because it needs to have sufficient volume, 5 to 10,000 minimum before I'll even consider it. Procyon coin again, another big drop in difficulty and in price with only about 5K in volume. I'm writing it down just to look at it a little bit. Not sure why Vish AI is up 100% because it was largely considered a complete and utter rug pull. Looks like Zephyr had a big drop in difficulty as well, 32% off its difficulty with only 2% down on its price, and it's still showing up at the top of the most profitable list on what to mine and hash rate. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but more time to accumulate more Zeph. Here's a new one, Quantum RL. It's got 800 grand in volume. I've never seen this. It's never kind of popped up before, but 8% drop in price, 29% drop in volume. I have no idea about it, so we're gonna look into that a little bit more. All right, Jesus, another 20% drop in difficulty, but not too much of a drop in price. So again, maybe it's miners are just moving on to something else. They're concentrating their hash somewhere else, and that's why the price isn't really following the difficulty as much. Friend, I'm gonna write that one down as well. Neoxa, big drops on Neoxa, but you can't count out the fact that a lot of people go for smart nodes or shared nodes on Neoxa, so that should help the price. I'm not sure why, again, people are dumping, but 17% drop. It's more correlated, the drop in price and the drop in difficulty. And Pyron, way down on Pyron. 31% drop in price and 13% drop in difficulty, but it's still showing up pretty high on those calculator websites. I'm not sure there, but a lot of volume on Pyron. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down a little bit. I saw Red Fox's video on Pyron, maybe sort of alluding to a little bit that there may be some shenanigans going on there. I'm not sure. Right, so I'm going to leave it there, and we'll take a look at our bracket. Although for CPUs, it's obviously not on this list because it's, I guess it doesn't really count as an actual mining pool, but I am going to put Cubic under our CPUs. So running down our list real quick, ZEPH protocol, which I am somewhat of a fan of, I am automatically advancing that to the next round because I don't hate it. And if you kind of look at the all on the chart, which, you know, take it for what it's worth. You know, it doesn't look like it's really had its moonshot. Quantum resistant ledger, for the same reason, I'm going to say no, because it's been around for so long and it hasn't done anything. So quantum resistant ledger is not going to advance at all. Let's just go ahead and let's do pop goes the weasel. It's gone. Nice hash for, you know, it always advances because it's just kind of a good place to run to if you don't like it. And Cubic, I'm actually going to, I'm just going to be honest. I've already made up my mind. I'm going to split the hash this week. I went ahead and put one of my miners, the 7950X3D, on Cubic, getting about 130. And I've so far found one solution in the first 24 hours. So pretty good, because looking in the Discord, someone mentioned that based on last epoch, which it runs for 1 week, and you don't know how much you're getting paid until like that week ends, and it's like on this big delay. But someone said it came out to about $10 per solution. So I've already got one, so that $10 is pretty much equivalent to a week of mining already. So if I get more than one solution on the 7950X3D, then it seems like it's well worth it. But it's a little bit different. It's well, a lot of it different. You kind of got to stay on the coin. You can't really pull off. So I'm going to go ahead and say the 7950X3D, I'm keeping on Cubic. Yeah, I've got it here. So it's showing me I'm getting about 132 hashes on Cubic. I know other people have gotten upwards of 150 based on tuning or, you know, some kind of command parameters that they put into their miner. I'm getting 132 just based on stock, how it was set up for RandomX, and I'm happy with that. So I'm going to run that through and stay on Cubic. So as of right now, it's still showing that I've only got the one solution that I was able to find here on, and I'm mining on cubic.li. So I'm going to stay on there with the 7950X3D. It's my most powerful CPU. And so I'm not sure if I really want to run the other ones on there as well, or if I want to keep them on ZEPH just to keep them available and pliable. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep the two CPU miners flexible and pliable and on something that is both speculative and profitable. All right, let's take a look at the other ones. The Procyon, I'm going to pass on. It just seems a little, just a bad vibe, I guess. Narai is kind of like one of those default coins that I go to. Not sure why the hash rate dropped, but I'm going to go ahead and advance Narai to the next round. Neoxa, I don't want to sleep on the fact that people keep going for those Neoxa nodes, tying up the supply, hopefully stabilizing the price. But will that continue? How far will that continue? Because my Neoxa is tied up in inodes, and it takes a little while to get out from my understanding. So I don't have a lot. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to pass on Neoxa this week. I'm going to pass on Fren, and then I'm going to see about Pyron here because I have virtually no Pyron. It looks like Pyron's kind of on the way down. But it's still showing up pretty high on price, and based on Red Fox's video, I've kind of got some reservations about it. So I'm going to say no to Pyron, and I'm actually going to go with Gram. That's right. So I'm going to go with the most profitable things this week. A little less of a speculative play, because once I get the Gram, once I get the payout, because it's a 250 coin payout, I'm going to dump it right away. I'm not going to hang on to it. And I'm actually pretty close on Gram because I started a little bit over 24 hours ago, and I'm at 200 Gram currently. The minimum payout's 250. So around midday today, I should be hitting the 250 mark, and after everything confirms, whenever their payouts go out, I should be able to get that payout and then go ahead and sell that. And then, because this is something I don't normally do, I haven't sold. I mean, I've sold maybe once since I started mining again this year, but really I've just been hanging on to everything. But for this week, again, I've got some discretionary funds. As you know, you watch the channel. I'm not allowed to put outside money into my mining endeavors. I have to finance it all either through selling bullshit I don't use anymore or through the proceeds of mining. And so I'm pretty close to being able to fully finance out another CPU build. And I think that's the hot thing right now that everybody wants to see, because I'm doing YouTube and YouTube's paying better than mining. So it makes sense for me to go after another CPU miner. So I think once I get the payout here on Gram, I'm gonna go ahead and cash out. I'm playing the profitability game this week, changing it up a little bit. I'd love to know though, what are you doing in the comments below? Because things are kind of tumultuous right now, because Bitcoin is like, you know, kissing all-time highs. Alts, not so much. And so, you know, looking at speculative coins, usually you're looking at speculative coins in a bear market, not in the bull market. Everyone's saying we're still in a bear market. You're saying we're in a bear market and Bitcoin's 70K, because there's something else going on here. All the dumb money either hasn't arrived or it's going into these, you know, really speculative Solana type coins somewhere else, or it's just going, I don't know where, but it doesn't seem to be going into alts. Alts aren't running. You know, could they? You know, I could be eating crow pie in a week when all these alts go through the roof. But as for this week, I'm playing the profitability game because I want to finance that next miner. I want to get it in because that's good content and it's just adding, it's compounding. It's giving me more power to chase coins like Cubic or like Zeph or things like that. Again, though, let me know what you're doing in the comments below because I'd generally love to know what the sort of the mob is thinking on these things. If you're new to the channel, if you're unsubscribed, subscribe so you can follow along. And if you don't subscribe, still let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're doing in the comments below. I'm the Technicals. See you next time.